Welcome, everybody, to the very first Geeks with Wives Popcorn podcast. I am joined by my lovely co-host, Natalie Atkins.
Hey,
how are you
guys.
doing tonight, Natalie?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm so excited about our guest tonight.
I know. We have three great guests. If you don't know who it is, you haven't been paying attention to or who they are. You haven't been paying attention to Twitter and all that great stuff. But we have an MX from Almost Human reunion tonight. So returning to our show, we have Garfield Wilson. So Garfield, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing very, very well. Very excited to be here with my brother MX's. Yo, what's up, live?
No, Garfield, we are promised a little singing a little later, right?
Oh, yeah. Thanks for that one.
I'll give you a little while, but you got to pick out a tune.
I've already picked out a tune.
You already have. All right.
Oh, he's set.
So also joining us tonight, returning to the Geeks with Wives podcast, will be Darren E. Scott.
Woo-woo.
Remember the E, yes, thank you.
How you doing, Darren?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing good. So you're back in North America, so the North America. You're back in Vancouver, right?
West Coast, baby. Yep.
West Coast. So you've been in Hong Kong till what?
I was there for the last few months, just taking it easy, doing a lot of training every day, just doing Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, staying in shape, sending audition tapes, and yeah, just staying on top of things.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming back tonight. And then for the first time, we have Anthony, and did I hear the kid? Is that what you guys keep calling him? Anthony?
The kid is here!
The kid is here!
and I don't want to mess it up. Is it Konechny?
That's actually bang on. I'm impressed.
All right. I got it right. All right. How you doing, Anthony?
I'm doing great. I'm doing really good.
So we've been talking on Twitter and trying to get this set up. So finally, all three of you are in one spot with a little reunion. And Darren had a post later that'll probably be the last time all the three of you are together. That was a little bit sad.
When you say
gotta
it
get
like
together
that.
for drinks, but yeah.
So Anthony, it's your first time. What are you up to right now?
What am I doing? I literally, as in like 5 minutes ago, I just got in. I was on a mini vacation. Was visiting some buddies up north in BC in Clearwater, and did a bit of a camping trip. That's what I just did last couple of days. I also jumped onto a show called Witches of East End, which I played a very interesting role on there, which is played a monster on this. We're talking full body makeup, like head to toe. It was a 4-hour application. So it's pretty interesting. That airs July 6th. You probably won't even recognize me in it because it's just there's so much artistry that they've done, and it looks really good.
I've seen you posting some stuff on Twitter about that. Yeah, it does look exciting. But you know what? The first thing we have to talk about, because we've had so much response on Twitter from some of the fangirls on Twitter, we kind of had an MX, almost a half-nude MX posting going on there for a while.
What?
And it's I think it's
You gotta fill me in, guys. What's going on?
So a couple of weeks ago, when we figured out this was going to happen, we started tweeting pictures, and then of course there's the almost iconic photo of the kind of Ken doll Anthony.
That picture's got some legs, man. That picture's got some legs.
Photo.
Yeah.
And I think it was Garfield told us that you were chosen to do that scene because you were ready for competition or getting ready for competition. Why don't you tell us, and I know because the girls want to hear it, let's get it out of the way. Tell us about how that all transpired. Give them what they want.
Wow. Where do I start? Should I start with what I was wearing or what I wasn't wearing?
Not wearing. How did they approach you? How do they come and say, this is what we want you to do?
You know what? It was it was a very delicate situation. You know what? I will say they did handle it very professionally. But at the end of the day, they tossed me a nude little, we'll say, a banana hammock, and that was that. You know, you're wearing this in your helmet, and you don't get in there.
That's awesome.
Now, what kind of workout regime do you have when you're preparing to wear something like a banana hammock?
Well, a workout regime. You mean like before I jump in front of the camera, or
Yeah.
like? Well, actually, believe it or not, I was actually training for a show. I did a fitness competition in November, which is right around the time we were filming that episode. So I mean, I had a trainer and all that, and kind of tell me exactly what to do in order to kind of shred down. Yeah, in terms of that, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say on that.
Garfield and I were actually panicking at first because originally they were talking about all three of us doing it, and they were like, Garfield and I, well, we got a few years in Anthony. We're just like, oh, we gotta stand next to the kid like that, man. We gotta start working out like tremendously, like fast, like heavy, like. But yeah, it just ended up being Anthony at the end of the day, which
was fortunate,
I guess.
Guys, Darren and I, because like we needed another 8 weeks to get into the Anthony.
Here's Anthony in competition shape, and he won, by the way.
Now, when they say competition, what kind of competitions do you do? Is it bodybuilding, modeling? What is it?
You know what it is actually? It is kind of like a bodybuilding thing, but there's a new category. Just I guess it's been out for about like 4 or 5 years. Don't quote me on that, but it's called the men's physique. So it's not like the big super muscle look. It's more of like a beach body look.
I think I need to be a judge for that. 100%.
I think I may just hand the show. I'm just gonna hand the show over to Natalie for the rest of the time. Why don't you just take it away, Natalie? Because
that is awesome.
Well, I'm the workout girl of the group, so I have tons of questions for all three of you when it comes to, what you do to keep in shape for the roles that you play.
Yeah, let's get to those after a couple more questions with Anthony. That sounds great. So we've heard the stories of how the other two guys got involved with Almost Human. Why don't you tell us your story? How did you go to an audition? How did you get involved with that project?
Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah, just auditioning for it. I got a bit of notes when I was first auditioning. They kind of said they're looking for like the Prometheus. Do some research on that, and kind of see where it goes, and then, but the audition process was actually something that I've never done before. Like it just, I guess they were looking for that physicality. That was the main thing. But I remember the first director of the show. He would just come right up, and he had his camera, and he was actually like, we're talking like an inch away from my face, and like was measuring. He must have been measuring like jaw lines, or like just was like during the audition, and he's just right up close, and just measuring little features as I'm doing it. I'm doing the seat, you know what I mean? And it was interesting. Yeah.
So we've asked the other two the same question. Can you tell us how many times and in what ways were you killed on the show?
How many times? I think I lost track. I had a friend of mine who watches the show, and he lost track as well. I got abused on that show. I was abused. I couldn't let my mom watch some of them.
That was you. You took the shot to the head, right?
I think I was more than. Was it just one shot? Or I know I took one shot to a couple shots to the head. I think.
Well, in the pilot, you got nailed right in the face.
Right in the face, yeah.
Yeah, and then Konechny gave you like the iconic.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the iconic.
You know what? I think he enjoyed that a little too much.
And then I was rewatching some stuff the other day. I got to watch Darren get run over, which was was great. That was you, right, Darren? I'm pretty
What?
sure. I remember.
Oh, Darren got pushed out of the car. Yeah.
I think we may have. I think Darren. We'll wait for Darren to come back. It looks like he froze. But yeah, Darren got pushed out of the car, and but yeah, it just seemed like all the MXs had to die in a certain way. So we've heard Garfield's and Anthony's stories now, and Darren's. But Natalie, why don't you ask us a few of those workout questions?
Awesome. Well, Garfield, since I have you hanging out,
Okay.
so I know we were talking earlier that you're a personal trainer.
Yes, I am. That's my day job.
And you're a fantastic actor, but what got you into being a personal trainer?
I was into athletics all through my younger years. Like I played basketball and volleyball, and did some track. And after high school, I became somewhat of a gym rat, and so that continued on. And then, long story short, my wife is a graphic designer, and she was working at this studio downtown called Sweatco in Vancouver, and she was remodeling their front desk and what they have as far as like websites and things like that. And then she scrolls down and sees like, personal trainers make such and such amount of dollars, and she calls me right away and goes, you know what? For the amount of time that you spend in the gym, you might as well get paid.
It's true.
So I started the process of getting certified, and it became like a very, very rewarding career for me. Up until I landed the Almost Human gig, which sort of reignited my acting career. But and I still do it. Yeah, I still do it.
Do you find yourself training when you're like on set and preparing? Do you find yourself wanting to help train your fellow actors?
Well, it's interesting because I did fitness model competitions up until 2010. I did it for like 4 or 5 years, and Anthony and I bonded on the fact that he was embarking on his first fitness model competition or a physique competition at the Sandra Wickham, and it was really exciting for me because here's this young kid who's got all the attributes and everything going for him, and he was just doing it for the first time. And so I got excited because he was so excited, and he killed it. He absolutely killed it. I mean, he came in completely ripped. First competition, he won his competition, which I was ecstatic because that happened to me. My first competition, I won my first competition, and I was going to ask you, Anthony, are you going to do any more? Are you going to do the one in November?
You know what? With that win, I ended up qualifying to go to regional. So I'm gonna wait a year, put on I think a little bit more size, and
Gotcha.
And then go from there. But I just want to add on that. Just having Garfield on set was absolutely amazing because there were days when I read around I guess maybe around the 10-hour mark of filming. For some reason, there's a chocolate tray that goes around. And the treats go around. I guess it's like a little perk for the crew. And I just, Garfield would see my eyes light up, and he'd just be like, no, Anthony, no, you can't have that.
It helps. It helps when someone has your back.
It was great.
Every time I look over at Anthony, I'm like, don't do it, brother. Don't do it. It's just pretty slow, brother. Awesome.
Now that was a pretty cool story of on-set. Are there any other on-set interactions? Let me start with Darren. Between the three of you, what was the most memorable moments between you three guys?
Most memorable? We had a lot of
Or the
good
funniest, or just something you'd feel like sharing that we would like to hear.
Oh, that's a good one.
I got one.
All right,
Let's hear it.
Let Anthony go first. I'm sure he'll drop
I'll come back to you,
what.
Darren.
We had these fantastic makeup artists who came in. They did our makeup every day. Mike and Holland. I think this was right around Christmas time, and they had a little surprise for us. We'll just say this. Well, they had one surprise which I can't really air this, but the second half of the gift.
Hey, we can air pretty much anything, so don't worry.
Well, we'll just say that there were some Nerf guns given to us.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
I think we ended up crashing the set one day, and instead of having the prop guns, we had some Nerf guns, and we ended up having some fun with that.
Dude, I almost took out Michael Ealy's eye.
All fun and games. You get an eye poked out.
He was coming through, and he didn't even know, and it was like about, I think it was midnight, and we were just trying to lighten up the room, and like, and it's funny because Anthony's the one that leads all the debauchery, all the debacles that happen on set. Anthony's leading it. So
throw me under the bus, eh?
I totally am.
It's all him, I'm sure.
So I've got it as like a sidearm, and I didn't realize that the thing comes out with so much velocity, and I clip Michael Ealy on the forehead. I'm like, oh my god, that's all I need to do. Brother's eye.
Oh man.
Oh.
I think if that would have happened, they might have put your MX on ice for good, huh?
No. That would have been the iconic death scene was Garfield's MX by Dorian.
So what about you, Garfield? I mean, you're sharing an Anthony story. Do you have a specific one? Or actually, Anthony, you didn't tell that. We just let off into that. What happened in the makeup chair?
In the makeup chair.
Well, you were just saying.
There's one thing. There's a lot of things happen in the makeup chair.
What happens in the makeup chair stays in the makeup chair.
Hey, that's it. Those are the rules. Those are the rules.
I'm not even gonna touch that. Yeah, I'm gonna leave Anthony to get out. I'm gonna leave Anthony to get
shut down.
Now, do you have any a cool story, Garfield?
Let me just think here. Wow, there's so much stuff that happened. I mean, there's a lot of practical jokes and the fact that I'm very gullible, and
you are. I mean, you're just like a super nice guy, so I can see that.
You know what? I'm super gullible. And unfortunately, it takes me no time at all to fall asleep. Because we were like, sometimes,
you don't want to be at a sleepover.
No, sometimes we were like on set and we'd be sitting around waiting to get in front of camera, and there'd be some long hours, and unfortunately sometimes I might have nodded off, and I've got these two Cracker Jacks next to me, and sometimes. see how much they're laughing because they know what they did.
Well, we have to hear it now.
Well, I don't know. I'm just gonna let.
He remembers
shaving for him in his
hand.
There were so many times he kept on falling asleep on the job. You know what I mean? So I can't even.
That's when you wake up and your underwear's in the freezer.
I had to teach people that.
My finger's wet, and I'm like, I panic,
Yeah, by all accounts, talking with you guys and then reading other interviews and stuff, it just seemed like it was such a great synergy and camaraderie on set. I mean, it's really sad that it did end. I know for fans, we were hoping for another season. Now, Darren, have you had a chance to think? What was your favorite memory with these two guys?
I think one of my favorite memories is probably our first encounter with Pandemonium. It was close to the same time, around Christmas time, and we were shooting in the Vancouver area, and we just finished a scene, and the three of us were walking back, and we had our helmets off and stuff, and this woman stops right in front of us. And she's like, "Oh my God, I love you guys." We were just like, and we just kind of stood there like, huh? Like, "Oh my God, I love you guys. I love Carl Urban. I love the show. Oh my God, I love you guys. You guys are fantastic. Oh my God, can you please have a picture?" And we're like, we're looking at each other. Yeah, okay, sure.
It doesn't seem to have.
Get our helmets. Put our helmets on. Take photos with her, and then she left her. And then after.
Sounds like we might be having a little bit of audio trouble with you.
I got bad internet, so.
Oh, okay. You're back.
Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of cool. I mean, it was kind of like what the hell just happened, but it was kind of cool at the same time because we really, it was the first time we really got the impression that, you know, we were really making an impact with people and starting like a fan base, which was great. So awkward moment, but great moment at the same time. So
yeah. Now, speaking of that fan base, something that I've been asked on Twitter to bring up to you guys is your reaction. And I know, Darren, you were very active with the Save Almost Human community. What I got asked, if I would pose to you guys, is what is your take on that? How does that make you feel that so many people are very passionate about saving that program? But let's go ahead and start with Anthony. Are you familiar with the Save Almost Human? There's a ton of different pages and Facebook pages.
There's tons, you know, and it's really. I mean, first things first. I mean, it's the way the business goes, unfortunately. But I mean, these things do happen. I mean, shows they can come back. I mean, if fans want them, and it's really flattering, and we're incredibly grateful to see everybody kind of going and putting such an effort into saving it, you know, not letting it just kind of fall by the wayside. So, I mean, we'll see where it goes, really.
I second that. I mean, it was shocking to me that there was so much emotion from the fans regarding the show, and there were so many questions that they wanted that were answered that were unanswered about the show. And you know, I know that I was sad when the show was canceled, and I do understand, just like Anthony said, that is a business. And I've been a fan of shows that have been canceled, and I was like, what? But the fact that in that short period of time we generated that much excitement with fans, and that they were that attached. I mean, we had fans doing artwork and sending it to us, and it was the first time I was introduced to Tumblr, and there was tons of stuff on Tumblr regarding the show and Save Almost Human, and people were, fans were documenting details about the show that I had forgotten, you know what I mean, and that they were really following closely, and it really reiterated to me how dedicated the sci-fi fan base is, and how much they are emotionally invested in the show. So it was really gratifying to hear that.
Now, Darren, you've been the most active in it. What is your take?
Well, I've been so active because, you know, I just, at the end of the day, if you don't have any fans, you don't have a show, you don't have a following. I mean, I just felt at the end of the day it was just the least I could do. I mean, it was a roller coaster of emotions. I mean, we had, you know, reports saying that, you know, we were all set to go for season 2, and then next thing you know, the plug was pulled. And then once the plug was pulled, of course I was upset, as I'm sure the other guys were. And, you know, it was just time to move on. And then, you know, more news came out saying that Mr. Riley, who's the head of Fox, was stepping down. Not really any reasons disclosed to the public, just speculation. And at the end of the day, that's all we can do is speculate. At the end of the day, we weren't inside the room. We don't know what was talked about. We don't know what was discussed. And like Anthony said, it's just a business. It's just how it is. But, you know, I like to stay, you know, just optimistic that Almost Human will one day return in some shape or form, whether we get renewed for another season from another network, or the same thing that happens with Firefly. We just end up doing a movie, and, you know, maybe the movie is just a better medium for us. You know, when you get into feature films, you can do so much more than you can with a show. So I think there's that I think there's that you know, there's that possibility down the road, and as long as people keep talking about the show. And I think the only thing I didn't like about certain people, like the way they're approaching it, was just, you know, they were saying, you know, writing into Fox or writing on Twitter saying, you know, F you Fox, or sending a picture of them, you know, flipping the bird and stuff like that. I just felt it wasn't really helping the cause. And the only thing I just asked of the fans is just, you know, keep talking about us and keep it clean. Just talk about how much you love the show, and just keep telling, you know, Warner Brother, Bad Robot, how much surface at some point in the future. That's pretty much my take on it, I think. You know, and it's as the other guys say, it's nice to see everyone's dedication to the show still, even though we've been canceled. So I appreciate it very much for what the fans are doing.
All right. Natalie, did you have any? I'm sorry, I interrupted your workout questions, but did you have any more? Did you have any more workout questions?
I did actually for Darren, because you are a black belt in, is it karate?
Yes.
And how long have you been studying?
I've been doing traditional Goju-ryu karate since I was 8 years old. Did a lot of competition when I was in my teens and early adult. Well, a long time ago, back in like '97, and I still train, but now I'm just dipping into other martial arts. Like right now, I'm doing jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai boxing as well. So just trying to stay in shape, and who knows? You get that call to set, you got to do a martial art role. You got to be ready. So.
Do you have a favorite type of martial art that you've practiced?
Well, karate is a big part of my life, and I think that will always be the number one. And I think it's a great base and great foundation to have. There's a lot of traditional aspects behind traditional karate and a lot of strong principles and a lot of honor and respect that I don't think you find as much in MMA. I think MMA is getting there, but it doesn't have that same element as an original form of a martial art would have, I would say.
Got it. We started taking classes for Karayu, which is a form of a martial art, and it was exhausting. I have so much respect for anyone who can study a martial art and stick with it.
It's great exercise
Now,
for the
I'd
mind
like
and the
to-
body. So.
Yeah. Now, I'd like to, since we are going to be a TV and movies podcast, I'd like to see what you guys are interested in or passionate about versus what you're involved in. Are there any TV shows or movies that you're excited in or waiting for or ready for? Let's go ahead and start with Garfield. Is there anything that you're waiting for, that you want to see, that you're passionate about?
I'm like I said in the last podcast, I'm a huge comic book geek. So anytime that and there's been a large number of superhero action movies that have come out lately. Like I just took my son to see Amazing Spider-Man 2. I'm very curious about the Superman versus Batman Justice League movie. I'm very hopeful that will be the beginning of a long-lasting franchise, and that they do it right. You know what I mean? Like they get it right. Because I remember being very disappointed with how the Batman franchise kind of trailed off once it got into the two movies that Joel Schumacher did. And then when it got rebooted, I was ecstatic because I was a huge fan. And so I was a little surprised that the second installment of the reboot of Superman was going to be a Batman Superman deal. So, but I'm excited about that. As far as television goes, I'm super excited about Luther. I've just got that show, which is phenomenal to me. But I cut you off, Chad, so go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say with that, the Man of Steel. It's actually not going to be Man of Steel 2 now, like we thought. It's going to be its own standalone. So a lot of people are saying, isn't this supposed to be Man of Steel 2? It's now just going to be its own standalone Batman versus Superman. And Man of Steel 2, I think it was like 2017 or something like that. They're actually going to come out.
Oh, okay.
Makes a little more sense now. Yeah.
That makes sense to me now. Okay, cool. That's cool. I understand that. Okay,
Now,
thank you.
Garfield, if you could play any comic book character, TV or film, in a perfect world, who would you want to play?
You already got to put the Deathstroke mask on. That, I mean, come on. It doesn't get much better than that.
Well, you know what? There aren't a lot of African American superheroes that have been featured. There's Blade. I wasn't really knowledgeable about that character until I saw the movies. But growing up, I was a huge fan of Luke Cage, Power Man, and the Black Panther. Chad, do you remember Black Panther?
Oh yeah, I love Black Panther.
So in the perfect world,
T'Challa, baby.
I would love to play Luke Cage. That would be amazing. I would get beefed up and jacked Anthony for that role. And that would be amazing to do. Other than that, I would love to. I don't even know if there's an audience for it, but there's an audience for anything if you have a great story and the action the right way. So I would love to see the Black Panther come to the silver screen.
A lot of people would. A lot of people would.
Love to be in that movie and be the Black Panther. That would be unbelievable.
That'd be awesome.
And we already know Darren wants to be Batman.
Oh, whoa.
For real? I don't even care if you've taken karate. I'll fight you for that one, man.
All right, so Anthony, we'll come back because we've discussed this with Darren. So he's gonna have to come up with something other than Batman. So Anthony, what film and TV projects besides your own are you passionate about right now, or are you just too busy? I mean, man, you're a tough to get a hold of guy.
You know what? I apologize on that. You know what? I'll tell you, I just moved and I had my cable. I didn't have cable for about 2 weeks, so getting caught up with everything is taking a bit. And I had all my shows, all my PVR, all gone. But I don't know. I don't right now. I don't really have a set show that I'm into. So I don't know what I can say.
No Netflix shows. I know Natalie in our next episode we're going to be talking Orange is the New Black, and stuff like that.
I've yet to see that.
So good.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is a phenomenal
I've heard a lot
show.
of amazing things, but I've yet to see that.
Any movies that you've seen recently that you really you walked out of the theater thinking, that was really good?
I
or you
saw
just not have
Godzilla
time?
recently.
Okay.
I really like Godzilla. I did have a little tiny role in that one. But no, I really liked it. I just thought the whole production, the whole story, everything was great about that. I actually went and saw it with my dad, and he was I've never seen him jump out of his skin like that. I like that. I like that when movies have that kind of effect on people when they get them so riled up after, and it brings him back to his childhood. And but yeah, that's actually one of the last movies I saw.
Yeah, I actually went and saw that with Peter, Darren. Peter and I went and saw Godzilla together. That was interesting.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was a mutual friend. That's how I started talking to Darren, is Peter Shinkoda. And I took him to see Godzilla, one of the world premiere for press and everything. And that was a good
party
time.
of one right here.
Yeah, Natalie. I'm sure he would have rather been there with you anyways, Natalie. But yeah, Godzilla was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. So Darren, you were working on a couple of film or working on some stuff in Hong Kong, but other than that, did you get a chance to watch any films over there or TV?
Yeah, I watched a lot I watched the X-Men Days of Future Past. Nothing much to say. Awesome show. I was usually angry at the end of each season now, which is great. I mean,
Nice.
For me as an actor to get angry at the end of a season for a show, you've definitely made an impact as an actor and producing the show, because the writing is just, I know it's based on a book series, but the way they've created the twists and turns and the plots, it's just, anything goes with that show, and that's what I love. And right now I just discovered Netflix. Well, I didn't discover it, I just got it. And I just finally getting caught up in Breaking Bad, so I'm about a third of the way through season 5 and can't stop watching it, of course. Sleep deprivation's kicking in, so.
Breaking Bad is phenomenal.
Oh, it's a pretty good word for it. So I've done that, and see what I dive into next.
Cool.
Now, we were
Natalie?
going to ask you, Darren, when it comes to comics, is there any superhero that you'd love to play?
There's been a lot of things pointed out to me just by Twitter fans, which I'm really grateful for. I remember when there was rumors circulating that Netflix was looking to cast an Asian for Iron Fist. A lot of people started bringing my name up on Twitter, which was kind of cool. Gambit was another character, although I think
Cool.
that's been casted already as well. But I think now that I think about it more and more, I think if they were able to do like a reboot of The Crow or something like that, I would love to play The Crow.
I still say Ryu. I'm gonna
Ryu?
stick with. I periodically send Darren pictures of Ryu and tag him in them.
Yeah, he does. Who knows? Who knows?
Yo, brother
Now-
D, can you imagine if they cast you as Iron Fist and me as Power Man? Come on.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Now we skipped Anthony on that superhero question. Anthony, if you
Why
could
snipes Batman?
yours is Batman. Come on,
I
with
took that from
Batman.
Bat-
Everybody
cool.
wants to be Batman.
Batman's cool.
Yeah, was it overplayed? Or do I gotta think of something else? You know what's funny? There's a good friend of mine. He's big into the DC and the Marvel comics, and he grew up and all that kind of stuff. And he actually got a little intense because he's very, very passionate about it. And you know what? I think they're doing, like, if I'm not mistaken, is it Marvel is coming up with tons of superheroes coming out. I think this is the new trend, is that things are just going to blow up. So I don't know. We'll see what comes through the pipes and see what opens up for us. Maybe we can get something. I don't know.
Yeah, they're doing a ton of signings of people for Netflix shows right now.
Wow. Well, Flash the pilot was shot here in Vancouver, and that's starting up. And that I saw the trailer for that, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, we actually have a review. The very first episode got leaked online, and we have a review up on geekswithwives.com.
What?
For the
How
Flash
did I
trailer.
miss that?
Maybe because you don't check our website. Thanks, Natalie.
Oops.
I totally do.
Yeah, we do have a review of that up, and it sounds phenomenal. The reviewer who got to see it had nothing but amazing and positive things to say about that.
I was super impressed with the trailer, and I was surprised with the casting of the main character. But my wife and we used to watch Glee together, and he was somebody that I thought was really talented in that show as like the antagonist. So I mean, just the way they shot it, and they had the character from Arrow on the trailer. I thought that was awesome. So it all kind of melds together. I mean, it looked phenomenal.
Yeah, it does. It looks pretty good.
And as it go along, I mean, Vancouver just does. About 10 or 15 years ago, you'd watch shows that were shot in Vancouver, and you could tell it was Vancouver. And now, not so much. They're doing a really good job with the city.
So you're in Vancouver. And Darren, where are you?
I'm in Vancouver as well.
You're in Vancouver as well. Is Anthony in Vancouver?
Vancouver as well. Yep.
Oh, right.
Wow.
So Vancouver really is Canadian Hollywood now. I mean, a lot of productions have moved up there, and we're getting a lot of great new actors like yourselves. We were talking before it started, Garfield, a project that you're working on. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that right now?
Oh, the project that I was working on?
That you're currently working on.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was on set yesterday. There's a movie that's being shot here in Vancouver called Vendetta, and it stars Dean Cain and Paul White. Some of you may know him as the Big Show. And Dean Cain, obviously, his claim to fame was Lois and Clark: The Adventure of Superman, which I watched quite a bit back in the day.
Yes.
And it was a fun time on set. It's going to be an intense movie. I think people are going to be very surprised at what Dean Cain is capable of, and the physicality that he brings to the role. And it was the first time that I've really been able to use my physicality in a role, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of fun. And I've got 2 more days to do on the set.
Now with Dean Cain, can you put in a good word for me? I've got my Superman shirt on. I've got my Superman tattoo.
Oh,
I mean,
dude, you got a
Me too. I have a Superman workout video.
I
Whoa.
would die.
I thought you were gonna say that you have a Superman tattoo as well.
No. I mean, I'll draw it on real fast.
Okay,
if that's what it takes. But if you can put in a good word with Dean.
Show me that Superman tattoo again.
Yeah, let's see it, Chad.
Let's see.
Booyah! Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Oh, damn.
Oh yeah.
I remember flipping channels between The Adventures of Lois and Clark with Dean Cain and then switching over to Sequest because they were on the same night at the same time.
Yeah.
So I would flip on commercial breaks back and forth between the two shows.
Oh man. You know what? My son, my 9-year-old son Jude, is crazy about superheroes, and his two favorite superheroes are Spider-Man and Superman. And we got him for Christmas one time, like as a stocking stuffer, the box set of Lois and Clark, The Adventures of Superman.
Oh, wow.
And I showed him on my phone, and I showed him Dean Cain, and there's a great picture of him as Clark, and he's ripping his shirt open, and he's got Superman S, and I said, this is who Daddy is going to be working with tomorrow. And he started vibrating. And I told Dean that, and he was so amazing. He said, look, anything that I can do, I'm all about the kids. I mean, come on, I'm a dad, and so I'm going to try to find a poster tomorrow. And so by next time I go on set, I'll get him to sign it for Jude. He's a super sweet guy, man. He's amazing.
Nice. That's awesome.
That's great. That's great. So Anthony, what are you working on right now? What can we see you in coming up?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, I just finished up. I did a few episodes on Witches of East End.
Yeah.
I think it airs on Sunday. So that's the next thing that you can see me in. Other than that, I got a couple other little bits here and there on some things coming through the pipes. I had a role on 50 Shades of Grey actually, which comes out February 2015.
Oh wow!
Very cool.
Yeah, that I think that one will definitely have a lot of views for some reason.
I think the fans are really excited about that one.
Yeah, you know what?
Do you keep it close on for that one?
Nah, you know what? It's just a little roll on it. You know what? There's no other requirements. Definitely not by me, at least.
That's awesome.
Now, what about you, Darren?
Darren, what about you?
Nothing much really going on right now. Just going through the audition process for a lot of shows right now, and I'll just see what comes up. Plan on making a trip down to LA the end of this month. Was contacted by it's called the Masters Hall of Fame in the U.S. and they nominated me for their Masters Hall of Fame to be recognized for my achievements in martial arts. So that should be good. There's supposed to be a lot of great people to meet down there, martial artists who work in the film industry. So it's good to meet some new people. And while I'm down in LA, I'll just do some networking, have some meetings, and see what happens. So right now, just stick with my audition process. And
if you want to film a workout video while you're down here, let me know.
Yeah.
Natalie lives in LA.
Oh, okay, cool.
I say all three of us make a trip and do a workout video.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love that. I think my audience would probably pee their pants to see the three of you working out.
So I think we've come to that point in the show that I've been waiting for. Where Garfield, you need to sing us a little tune.
Yeah.
Oh, gee whiz. Okay.
Oh
my God. Okay.
So
all right.
what is it going to be, Garfield? Set it up for us.
Well, I thought I don't want to sing a song that requires a beatbox or some kind of like Mariah Carey licks or anything like that. I thought I'd sing a song that everybody knows. It's sort of like an anthem song, and I might be able to pull it off. So I thought I'd do Bon Jovi's "Wanted Dead or Alive."
Oh,
Wow.
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm getting
I'll
hot.
sing a
I'm
verse.
hot already.
I'm ready. Well, I gotta sit back here and just enjoy this. Let's see.
Come on, Garfield, put Tom Cruise to shame.
I'll sing a verse and a little bit of the chorus, and hopefully it'll all work out. Okay, here we go. It's all the same. Only the names will change every day. This seems we're wasted away. Another place where the faces are so cold. I drive all night just to get back home. I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride. I'm wanted, dead or alive. Wanted, dead or alive. There you go.
Wow.
You can play rock band with me anytime.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Oh man.
I don't know
Holy
if we can continue
cow.
on with the show after that.
No.
Jeez.
What a great note.
So for people that don't know, we talked about it a little bit on the last podcast. That is part of your background. You were a singer in a band, right?
Yeah, when I was growing up, I mean, back in the day when I was 5 years old, I mean, my dad introduced us to the Jackson 5, and growing up, I thought I was going to be the next Michael Jackson. Like, I grew my hair in this big, nice little round fro. I worked on all the moves. And fast forward to high school, I was in all the choirs and things like that, doing talent competitions, and then went to college for music. And so studied voice and played piano for a little bit, just so I had an instrument that I was doing in college. And then I met my boys that we started a band with, and we became popular, moved to Vancouver, and that original band imploded, and then we formed another band. And, yeah, bands implode a lot.
Yeah.
You don't say.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because being in a band is like tougher than being in a marriage, because you're married to like 5 or 6 other guys, and they're very demanding and very emotional. And the unfortunate thing about a band. The unfortunate thing about a band is that unfortunately, and you'll see this happen, is that somebody in the band becomes really popular, and that's the person that people gravitate to. But a band will think that everybody is equal, and the hard truth is that it's not true. If you look at bands like No Doubt or the Rolling Stones, I mean, even Maroon 5, everybody's talking about Adam Levine, Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, or Gwen Stefani. Nobody's talking about the other guys.
Yeah.
There's a band called, I think, Paramore. You guys heard of that band? With the female. And they had some troubles, I think, too. I read that they were having troubles because she was getting a lot of attention. Well, of course she's getting a lot of attention. She's got the voice, she's got the look, she's got the charisma. And so with the band, I was the lead singer, and, you know, I was doing all my gyrating on stage, and I had, like, the long dreadlocks. I was busting out this Lenny Kravitz look. That was crazy. And, you know, the agents were looking towards me, and the guys were like, well, you know, we're a band. It's not just you. We're all equal. And it's like, okay. And the agent's like, you're not. See ya. It was crazy. It's hard. It was a hard lesson. So, yeah, bands imploded. We imploded, and then I just kind of put that to rest because, you know, the music industry changed with Napster and all that kind of stuff. So it was different. Yeah. But I still sing every once in a while. Like I do a recording project. You know what? I've got this recording project called The Dark Horses, and it's a buddy of mine at the studio. He's also a trainer, and I'll send you. You know what, Chad? I'll send you a file because Dark Horses. The only thing that we do just like cover tunes, and we just have fun with it, right? So I'm gonna send you 2 tunes. I'll send you a Bruno Mars cover that we did, and I'll send you a David Guetta featuring Usher that we did, and we mashed it up.
Ah, that's my favorite.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I played
Okay.
for my boys, MX boys.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So,
amazing, man. My favorite.
oh, thanks, man. Thank you. So I'll send you those, and we're gonna try to do a video for those tunes in August, and then just post them online and just have fun with it. So right now with music, I'm just doing it for fun and just for the love of it, and hopefully, like I said before, like Almost Human really like reignited my acting career. So I'm gonna try to take it to the limit with that.
Very cool.
But enough
Very
about.
cool. Now, we're getting towards the end here. I do want to address something that we started off with, which is the passionate Twitter ladies. We have to talk about the fangirls because they've been so passionate about you guys being on and sharing it and about you guys. What kind of message? I know Anthony has seen them. You haven't been able to interact too much because you've been busy. But let's start with Anthony. What kind of message would you like to send to those ladies in particular?
Message? I didn't even know.
What do you want to say?
Jeez, I don't know, man. You gotta skip me.
Okay, Garfield. I know Garfield.
I'm getting all nervous. I'm getting all nervous when I think about it.
I got a message for the fangirls.
All right.
Okay, fangirls, you guys are beautifully crazy. I adore you guys. It's really great to see the passion that you guys have for us MXs and the show, and you guys are hilarious. It'd be great if the show does get reignited, or that me and my two MX bros are doing other projects, and we all three of us, for whatever reason, end up at a Comic-Con and we get to meet you guys. Like, because that would be great, because it's just really cool to have fans like that are really passionate about the show and tweet as much as they do and show that their love and support. You know, some of them are crazy, but I call them beautifully crazy.
Yeah, I do have to apologize to them. They did ask me if I'd try and get you guys to do at least this video portion of it. Most of it will be audio that we drop on iTunes and Stitcher and everything. They wanted me to get you guys to do it without your shirts on. I said I didn't think that was gonna work, but that was one of that was. I think
Is Anthony taking off his shirt?
Yeah, Anthony's
There he
taking off his
goes,
shirt.
taking his earphones off,
Yeah!
pulling that shirt off.
Oh my God, he took off his shirt.
He took it off.
Well, you guys can't leave me hanging.
Oh my God, there he is, half naked.
Hey, supply and demand, right?
I love
Oh
it.
my God. Man, look at that chest. Oh my goodness. Anthony, you're crazy, man.
Today was the best day.
Here's a message.
There's Anthony's. There's Anthony's message. Darren, what do you have now?
What do I have?
What is your message?
How do I talk those first two now?
I don't know. If you
Beautifully
can.
crazy.
Show us a little
shirt off.
muscle. Show us a little muscle. There you go. Love it.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Oh my God. Look,
He's
man,
enjoying this now.
he's still naked.
Chad was not expecting that, Anthony. He had blush.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, the poor.
You know what? I don't even know how I'm doing this. You know what? I lost my dignity a long time ago when all those posters came out. I think one for every season. I remember seeing that picture of the one when it was the Ken doll lookalike with the Santa hat on, and a bunch of different ones kept on popping up. And you know what? It was funny. My dad actually had a comment on that. He's like, you're lucky you already got a girlfriend, son. That's what he said.
Man, that picture has legs and it's still going.
I think it will for a long time.
Long time.
Yeah. Darren, you have been very interactive as well. Is there anything you'd like to say to our zealous fans, the overzealous fans?
No, I just appreciate their dedication to the show, their dedication to getting the show saved and renewed. there's not really much else to say. I mean, it's just been incredible, and I'm really flattered with all their kind words and comments, and the fact that they still follow me, and I hope that they still follow me and the rest of the guys, wherever our future endeavors take us. If we end up another show or do another movie or whatever comes to light. So thank you very much for all your support and love, and I hope that it just keeps on coming. So thank you very much, ladies.
Yeah, I would name them by name, but I try to look back, and I'd be too afraid to leave one out because they've all been so nice and so warm and supportive of this podcast and you guys coming on and everything. Even Natalie got involved in it a little bit, I think, as well. The fangirliness once she saw some of the pictures that got posted. So.
I am a girl. What can I say?
Now, before we go into final thoughts, Natalie, did you have any final questions?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Well, we're gonna wrap up this show, but like we told you guys before, this is the point where you can have the chance to plug anything you want, tell everybody where we can find you, all that good stuff. You have a couple minutes of your own to say whatever you like, and before we say goodbye, it's going to be a sad goodbye.
Yeah. First of all, I just
let's go ahead. Yeah, start with Garfield. Garfield, why don't you share us your final thought?
All right. First of all, I want to thank you, Chad and Natalie, for hooking this up. It was, I miss Anthony and Darren a lot. We had a lot of fun on set. That was one of the saddest things is that I wasn't going to be able to hang out with my brothers anymore. And as far as that, I'm super proud of those guys. I mean, I know they're going to be hugely successful in whatever they do. My Twitter account is at Garfield Wilson. I'm currently filming a movie called Vendetta, starring Dean Cain and Paul White, who is The Big Show. And I've got a recording project that's a lot of fun called The Dark Horses. Chad, I'm going to send you a couple of files on that. And then we're going to be looking towards recording more fun tunes and doing videos in August. So look for that as well.
Nice.
Thank you.
Anthony, do you have a final thought? Where can we find you? On Twitter, on Facebook, or
yeah, it's just my name, Anthony Konechny. It's pretty simple. And I think I've done all the plugs I can do. I just want to thank you guys for bringing us together. It's been a long time. Like, this is actually the first time I've actually had a conversation with Darren and Garfield like this, and it's sad that shows end, and you meet such incredible people, and you become like a family, and then you lose touch like that. So I just want to thank you for bringing this together. Thanks for putting this whole thing together. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of fun.
And Darren.
Getting all teary-eyed here now.
Yeah.
Well, you can find me on Twitter, of course, Darren E. Scott. You can also find me on my Facebook page, Darren E. Scott as well. Please, no friend requests on my personal page. I've been getting a lot of those lately. I'm on Tumblr as well, under Darren E. Scott. So those are the three places. And if you live in China and you use Weibo, I have a Weibo account under Darren E. Scott as well. Weibo is the Chinese Twitter. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you, Chad and Natalie. Congratulations on your first Popcorn Pop podcast. And sure, the first of many great ones. And hope to be back at the show someday talking about something else. So, yeah, thank you.
No, thank you guys. Natalie, do you have a final thought or thoughts?
Yeah, thanks to the three guys that were on tonight. You guys were fantastic. I'm sure the fangirls are going to be excited to see you, Anthony, without your shirt on one more time. But hearing all three of you guys and what you have to say.
Can we wind it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Today, today is Wednesday, which means we are 22 days away from San Diego Comic-Con. When this posts on Sunday, we'll be 18 days away from San Diego Comic-Con. If you guys are looking to get into shape for San Diego Comic-Con, head to our website, a link to my workout videos. You guys can work out with us there, which is Geek Out Your Workout.
All right. So yeah, and I do want to thank you guys profusely for coming on and helping us make this inaugural podcast be so much fun and help us start this off right. This has been the very first Popcorn podcast, which is the third show on the Geeks with Wives podcast network. There's so many great things that are going to be coming. Next week, we'll have Alicia Bellamy back on. I believe it was Alicia and we're just going to be talking TV and movies and a lot of fun stuff. Alicia is now one of our regular geeks. She's not just somebody that that we discovered and have interviewed and everything. She's blowing up in the cosplay world, and she's going to be a regular contributor. She's getting her own profile on the page, and she's going to be a regular. Reoccurring guest hosts on this podcast, so that's going to be fun next week. Game of Thrones,
Yes.
Orange is the New Black. We're going to be spoilering. We're going to be talking about stuff. We're going to be taking questions. It's going to be a fun time. We really want to flesh out everything we couldn't do on the Capes podcast, so they can work more on comics and have amazing comic artist guests. I mean, they're having some big name directors on and comic artists, and so they're able to expand their show as we've broken off into our own show and be able to expand on things. So there's a lot of exciting things coming on. On the 19th, Geeks for Courageous Kids will do its first thing with the Ronald McDonald House, where we're going to go meet with kids and their families and who have been suffering through disease and cancer and a lot of stuff like that, to really see what we can do to help brighten some days of some people. We're actually working on with some other groups to work with kids with Down syndrome and other cancer groups and help with fundraising and stuff like that. So Geeks with Wives is really taking off in the community all across the United States and all across the world. I mean, we have contributors as far away as Sweden now that are writing articles and
in Canada.
And Canada. But we really want it to be this very warm community that can give back and shares the passions that all of us do. You can check out the new geekswithwives.com. Our website is completely revamped to support all this new stuff and all these new people and all this new content. I just can't, again, I can't say enough. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks, you guys. It was awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And for me and Natalie, we will see you next week.